I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. Last week we didn't have a live presentation on Saturday because many of the team leaders that are on the Saturday morning call that lead the call were in Utah for the Experiencing Synergy event. I was trying to think, I know we were in Utah, I hesitated, I was thinking Salt Lake City. We may have flown into Salt Lake City, but Synergy Worldwide is now located in Lehi, Utah, and we were at the Experiencing Synergy event. And we're going to be sharing our experience with you and help to hopefully help you understand some of the interesting and what I think are exciting things that are happening in Synergy Worldwide, especially from a marketing standpoint. And we've got different people who are going to share some of their experiences today. And I think I saw David on the call. So David's going to be the first one to share his experiences and what he saw. And I know I talked with David previously, and he liked to share the new building and the design of the new building and how he feels that that's going to be extremely helpful for Synergy going forward. David, do you mind sharing?
Good morning, Dad. Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you fine.
Great. Yes, Dad. I'm happy to share it. You know, when we pulled up to the new building, you could see it from a distance, and it is impressive. It's a nice feeling, and it's in an area that's really being developed. You could see the Synergy sign from a distance, and even if from the valley, as they say. Someone told us they did that purposely when Nature Sunshine gave them the option to place the sign. So they did it where it could be very, very visible. And one of the things I noticed when we pulled up was that obviously it's brand new, but right outside the building, Dan, there was something that I don't see typically in buildings, where there's a basketball court and also some nets set up where if they wanted to play soccer, they can do that too. And it was right adjacent to the right-hand side of the building, and it's hard to miss because you drive around it as you go to the parking lot. So that took me back. I said, isn't that something? They've set up a basketball court for the employees, and that was only the first thing I noticed that was positive. As you walk in, for those that have gone to the old offices or the previous offices that were pretty nice in itself, but they were more lower ceiling and more enclosed, where the new building, I noticed, has very high ceiling and very open spaces. And as we continued the tour of the new facilities, I noticed that same theme continued from the tour of the lab and the development area to the area where the production, the operations, the customer support, the management, all were really open spaces. Now, they do have the privacy because management does have glass in their offices, but it was a design that I noticed back in my banking days in the 80s and 90s, where there was more partitions, but these were more modernly placed. There was lower partitions, an open environment where you still have your privacy, but at the same time, if the departments needed to communicate, they no longer need to take an elevator. They no longer need to go up and downstairs. They're all in the same place. And I like that because as we were getting the tour, we were able very easily to be introduced to all of the departments and those individuals in the departments that we interact with. In my case, Dan, I was really pleased to see the individuals in the customer service department. Now, if we've ordered frequently from Nature Sunshine, from Synergy, we know we've talked to Donna, we've talked to Susan, and in the past, of course, I've talked to the bilingual group, which was George and Jackie, and of course, they're young, and I understand they move on. People do look on for better opportunities, but how quickly the Hispanic support was replaced. Now we have Pedro, Stephanie, and somebody called Ali, who knows a little bit of Spanish. It was great meeting those people personally. Then after we took the tour of the operations and customer support and technology facilities and development area, we went to the cafeteria area. And that also was impressive because it is, well, first of all, it was very modern. It almost looks like a restaurant setting. The environment is overlooking the outside of the building, so you're sitting in an environment where you're relaxed. It seems like you have obviously maybe one or two vending machines, but you have an open environment where everyone could see everyone else, and or you could sit outside if you want, and that's nice. And they also have this athletic facility, which I guess was my highlight. I saw that they can lift weights, they can exercise. We're there, so I came away, Dan, with a facility that is very friendly to work at, a very relaxed environment, but dedicated to our supporting us, and very looking forward to grow. I think they put in place the mechanics they need in a work environment to allow growth and future dynamics, because they do have room to grow there. So that was my impression, Dan, of the facilities and the environment that I saw.
Great, David. I'm on my screen having a technical issue here.
So while you're having your technical issue, could I just add something to David's amazing comments?
Absolutely.
Go for it, Judy.
So this is Judy. So a little story. I took an Uber back to the airport, and it was a very interesting Uber. It was an F-150 truck. It's just an amazing guy. Anyway, he said, "So what brings you to town?" So of course that's an opening, right? So when I told him that I was with Synergy, his comment was, "Really? I've seen that building, but I never knew what they did before." So just the building being there and that huge sign on it is getting people's attention. So of course, by the end of the trip to the airport, he had my business card, and I've learned all about the challenges in his family as far as health goes. So the building itself is a sales tool. So that's my comment.
Well, and Judy, I want to add to that because, David, you alluded to it. If you look at the picture and the image that's on my screen that I'm showing to everyone, you can see clearly Synergy is on one side of the building. They were given the option of putting it there or putting it on the front of the building with the image on the left side and Nature Sunshine's logo or name on the right-hand side. Synergy chose to put it on this location so that people would think that this is Synergy's building by itself. And when you're traveling towards Salt Lake City, this is the building that you see with the Synergy sign. And because of the layout, they take up all the first floor with the Hughes Center for Research and Innovation. And what they do at night, they have a room that faces the direction of traffic going away from Salt Lake City, and they leave that room's light on because they have a big board, a wall that has a big graphic on it that has Synergy Worldwide. So at night, they make sure that that room is lit so that people going the opposite direction can see Synergy on both sides of this building. And David, I know that they emphasized what you were talking about. They purposely made the first floor so all the departments were all on the same floor and in the same basic location, so that if there were needs that they needed to communicate with each other, it would make the cooperation and the communication flow that much better, which I personally believe is one of the things that I came away from with Synergy Worldwide. There is a huge commitment and purposeful direction towards increasing the level of communication on all aspects of Synergy Worldwide, both from a corporate standpoint internally, as well as with us as distributors, so that we can continue to build on that level of cooperation of communication and continue to expand our ability to make Synergy known. Like what Judy just talked about. There's a guy driving his truck wanting to know, what is this new Synergy building all about? It's a process of branding, and it's a process of making Synergy Worldwide known in the Utah area, but more importantly, known throughout the United States. David, anything else you want to share before I go on to Timothy?
The only thing I want to share, Dan, is when I do call Synergy Worldwide, of course, yesterday I had I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't have a good day. I called 3 times. 2 out of the 3 were for Hispanic clients. And I find that even if you cannot reach a Hispanic-speaking person, the English-speaking, Don or Susan or Ali in this case, are so patient. And I think they've hired the right people, the people with the right temperament, where they're very patient and allowing the translation to take place and repeating the numbers and making sure they understand and make the customer on the other line feel very comfortable. So anytime I call, I feel really, I don't have to worry about that. Anyone, not making my customer feel the way I want them to feel. And when they hang up the phone, they don't feel like they've been sold to. They feel like they've been helped. They feel like they've been, treated well. And so I just wanted to make that one more comment. Outside of the facility, just the personnel is I think, A1.
Yeah, I agree with you, David. I've always found that the customer service support team has always been a huge asset for Synergy Worldwide. All right, well, let's go on to Timothy. Timothy, I know you didn't ask to share about this, but I think you went to the tour at Nature Sunshine Park. So, Timothy, I apologize in that for some of the technical issues that we have here. But, Timothy, before you talk about some of the pass-out cards and the tear sheets that impressed you, would you maybe share with people your experience of being at the manufacturing facility for Nature Sunshine products?
Yes, I will. That is my first visit to that location. And first, you cannot take no pictures. Secondly, you cannot enter the manufacturing rooms per se. But there are windows that you can see the workers doing their work. The cleanliness of the place, the security of the place, the willingness of the workers to chat with you and tell you what they're doing and how they're doing it. I was very impressed with that. Head office, and my experience there was worthwhile.
Great, thank you, Timothy. So from the meeting standpoint, there were a couple things that you liked from the new marketing materials that Synergy Worldwide is offering. Would you maybe share some of your impressions of that material?
Yes, I deal with, first of all, the sales tools are not in the catalog. The sales tools can only be obtained by going to synergyworldwide.com. Secondly, there are no SKU numbers, on the tools. You have to order them by image only. There are 2 different types of pro-arginine pass-out cards. Live Life Elite and maximize your activity. And this one is for E9 Active. The card backs are tailored to you and your market. You can choose which of the card backs you need on your card. One of the better options is that you have the ability to have your cards personalized, meaning that wherever your card goes, so you go also. The downside of the cards are the difficulty in reading the faded print. And I was very loud and clear about this, that you need a magnifying glass to read it. And the gentleman said that he will take note of what I said. Personally, if you hand me something that I cannot read, I toss it out. And Synergy Cards has got that high toss-up value because you cannot read the back of the card. One of the better features of the product, one of the better features is the image of the product on the card. And you can't stick a proadenine satchel on the card that makes it
I
easy
can hear him
to
talking,
advertise
but
your
the
product.
screen's gone.
There are cards for E9 and for essential greens also. As for the tear sheets, there are 16 plus different tear sheets that are available. I'm only going to look at Synergy Advantage and Discover Synergy. The info on these cards, on these sheets, are easier to read because of the grayscale background. The Synergy Advantage, it is the company history, the product, the opportunity on the first page. The second page is simply earnings from retail to mega match. Thank you. The Discover Synergy. On page 1, you have 6 bird's-eye views of the company, the timing, the product, the purpose, the innovative, and the earning potential. And on the back, you have the 7 ways of earning. It's easy to it's easy, understandable terms. This page will give you 7 earning facts at your fingertip. These tear sheets are highly recommended and has the energy and power to make doing our synergy business easier with loads of simplicity. The tear sheets and the cards are highly recommended. They do have a few downsides, but the upsides are much more than the downsides, and they are highly recommended. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Timothy, for sharing. And I've made Judy the host and sent her the PDF for today's presentation, so you should be able to begin to see the information that Timothy was talking about. We'll go back and look at some of the previous information. But I appreciate what Timothy's talking about. And I just want to let Timothy know, as well as everyone else that's on this morning's presentation, because we have a fairly large group on this morning. This is the best marketing material that I've seen come out of Synergy worldwide in my whole time with Synergy. The new person who's in charge of marketing is Andrew. And Andrew, to me, has done a marvelous job of listening to us as distributors, as well as Andrew has a very strong background in marketing. And he has put together some fantastic information, some fantastic tear sheets and other types of brochures and pass out cards that are phenomenal in their ability to help us market Synergy worldwide. In addition to that, they're also putting together modules that will correspond to some of these things, like the Synergy Advantage tear sheet or the 7 ways to get paid or discover Synergy tear sheet. They have some modules that they're putting together that will be available to us. We will be doing some Saturday trainings to help you understand how to use the tear-off sheet and the Synergy module, because you could do a whole PowerPoint presentation with the Synergy module to correspond with your tear sheet. So the tear sheet is something that you can use as a one-on-one presentation, something that you can send to an individual, something that you can download to your computer and print off, or you can go through Sound Concepts and actually buy the tear sheets, either have them branded to you or non-branded. It's cheaper to have it non-branded, and you can use these things in your presentations. What I call duplicatable material that will be easy for us to do training sessions on Saturdays, record those videos, and then host them up onto our Synergy Family website platform. So you and new distributors that you bring into Synergy worldwide can look at how they can use these sales tools and use it to attract clients, customers for Synergy products, as well as interest people to become part of the business opportunity in Synergy worldwide. Fantastic information. And Judy, thank you for allowing me to send you this information so that people can see it. Now, if you scroll down, Judy, I think the next person up, go the other way, thank you. Next person up is you.
And I did have to unmute myself. So thank you so much, Dan. And, you know, that's what really being a team is being able to step up and help one another when live happens, right?
Yep.
This is a live webinar and you never know what you get. So, we have a great team here at Synergy Worldwide, and I'm just so thankful to be part of it. So there were several specials that we were offered while we were there. So sometimes being at an event has, some extra perks to it. Not only were we offered these specials, but so I don't want to make anybody unhappy that they didn't come, but really, we also got free shipping on anything we wanted to order those 2 days. So it really was a little perk to be there, and just to be around everyone and renewing friendships that we only get to see once or twice a year. And even though we're on the phone with each other, I was talking to David while we were there, and it's like, David, the only time we see each other is here in Utah. We live probably 20 miles apart, and we see each other in Utah. So it's wonderful to be able to spend time with people that have the same concerns and goals that you do. So these specials are absolutely wonderful. And Deb Durfee actually named September Shake It Up September for the Biome Shake. And this is a great special to be able to get an 8-pack of both of the Metabolic Shake and a 6-pack of the Biome Shake at a great discount, because we do know that the expiration dates of the shakes are over a year. And so to be able to even have them for our own use, of course, we could sell them for a bigger profit, which is always an advantage. But to be able to get them and share them with our family members at a discount, so much appreciated. I thank Synergy so much for doing that. And if you know me, normally I actually travel with my blender, because I am, I'm that shake person. I have my shake every single morning when I can, and I have several recipes for shakes. In fact, I just did a Facebook Live presentation on my favorite Biome Shake recipe, which I am actually in the process of getting that on YouTube. So for anybody that wants to see it on my YouTube channel, it's Cardio Wellness Group, and I will have that Biome Shake recipe in it, because I like to have different tastes and textures in my day. And so for me, the shake just kind of gets boring. I know a lot of people just, put it in a little bit of water, shake it up and gulp it down. And that's okay. But for me, I like to have that adventure of those different tastes. So the Biome Shake recipe that I actually am putting on YouTube is made as kefir as a base, spinach, and cauliflower. And I know that sounds like a strange combination, but it's absolutely great. So, take advantage of these specials that Synergy does. They don't do them often, so when they do, we really need to take advantage of them to help our health and to help our team. So, any questions about that?
Yeah, before you go, Judy, what is the cost of the metabolic kit?
Oh, the metabolic kit is $200.
Okay.
And it is an 8-pack, and it's 100 CV. And the Biome Shake is a 6-pack, and that's $150.
No, that's not what I meant. On the Purify kit and then the Fortify, I should have said the Fortify kit. What's the cost in the Fortify kit? I don't remember.
Oh, the Fortify kit is $249.
Okay, so just I want to emphasize to you the importance of people actually attending these events, because if you had one of the specials that Synergy offered us was you buy one Fortify kit and you get one free with free shipping. That alone would have most likely paid for 2 nights of your hotel stay. So if you're staying 2 nights at the hotel for the Synergy event, that special alone would have covered the cost of your hotel plus some.
That's very, very true. Very true.
You know, and if you had bought 2 of them, then you most likely would have had most of your airfare covered.
Right, right. Good point. That's a great point. And I don't know, I haven't looked at this, but do you have anything on this PowerPoint for the conference next year?
No, because I haven't seen anything. They announced it. What Judy's talking about is next year is Synergy Worldwide's 20th anniversary, and it's going to be in Seoul, South Korea. The leaders in Seoul, South Korea have already guaranteed Synergy Worldwide that there will be over 8,000 people at that event. And Synergy is going to be giving us an incentive program to be able to attend that event. Now, we don't know what the components of that incentive program will be, but certainly once it's announced and once we know what that is, our express goal is to help you understand how to develop your Synergy business, market your Synergy business, and grow your Synergy business so that you can earn your way towards Seoul, South Korea for the 20th anniversary. I didn't go back when it was the 15th anniversary. One of my team members went, and she told me, that was Nanette, and she told me that it was phenomenal. She'd never seen anything like that. And so I've already talked to my wife, Sherry, and it's an express goal of mine and hers that we plan to attend Seoul, South Korea. So I'm anxiously waiting to hear what the qualifications and what we can do to be able to earn our way to Seoul, South Korea. Now, one last thing I want to make on this, Judy, unless you have something else before we move to Bob, is just looking at the Biome Shake. I use the Biome Shake all the time. You take $150 and divide that by 6. That's $25 for a canister of the Biome Shake. That's $20 less than what it normally goes for. And so, you know, this is just the Shake It Up September. If you're using the Metabolic Shake or the Biome Shake, this is a fantastic way for you to get the canisters at a reduced price and still get some nice CV added to your Tracking Center 1. Anything else, Judy, before we move on to Bob?
Well, just the one comment, you know, at that price, it's less than $1 a serving.
Yeah.
For a meal. You know, how could you not sell that?
It's a fantastic offer, and I've used both the Metabolic and Biome Shake. I know they talked about it at the convention. I love the Biome Shake. You know, I've tried them both, but I'm a Biome Shake guy, and I'm going to stay there. I just love that shake.
I'm with you, Dan.
Dan, before you move over to Bob, I have this picture on the screen now. I've got this on my Facebook. But September is almost over. How can we get October, Shake It Up, October, November, December?
I don't know. What we'll do is we'll ask Deb. You know, this is the other thing that I found to be extremely encouraging about Synergy Worldwide. In the past, we've made suggestions into the leadership, meaning the general manager of Synergy Worldwide, and always didn't feel like we got heard.
18 people.
So what I found is that Deb Durfee and Andrew and Mike, who's in charge of IT, they are extremely receptive to our ideas from the field and suggestions that we make from the field. So definitely, Timothy, once October 1st rolls around and this program ends, we can certainly send an email to Deb Durfee and say, hey, you know, we didn't really have enough time to promote this. Would you consider, you know, continuing it through the month of October? And we'll see what she says. Like I said, I found Deb Durfee to be extremely flexible and willing to listen to us as distributors. And rather than just telling us a flat no, she'll take it into consideration and she'll look at things that are done and help us to be successful. To me, I'm encouraged by everything that I'm seeing happening in Synergy worldwide.
But Dan, I don't really mean the pricing. I mean the picture.
Oh, okay.
I've got this picture on my Facebook now, and I get some feedback as far back as Ghana.
Sure. What I would do is I would just, and if you want help on this, I would just take this picture and put it into Canva, and then I'd put a line through September and then put October underneath it. Send it back to you as a JPEG. So if that's something that you want to use rather than extending the offer, just let me know, and I'll put it. I've got a program with Canva that I can easily take that image and then just put it into Canva, put a line through September, and put October underneath it, which would be kind of a nice graphic.
Good. If you've got the picture, fine. Otherwise, I'll send it to you.
Don't need to. You want me to work on that for you, Timothy?
Yes, please. But the picture came from the blog.
Okay, I made a note, and I'll have that for you sometime next week.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Timothy.
Good.
All right. So, Bob, would you mind sharing with us what your experience was, especially as you enjoyed Sarah's presentation, who's from the Hughes Center for Research and Innovation, as well as Rudy Pedrosa's presentation?
Yeah, you bet. Can you guys hear me okay?
Absolutely.
You know, I wanted to mention, too, with regard to the specials, when I saw the Biome Shake special, I went straight out and ordered it. They've already arrived, and I've got them in our cupboard. This is a phenomenal opportunity, you know, to pick up product like that, and I was extremely impressed. Those numbers, and David Munoz and I were sitting there side by side looking at the numbers, and it's like, you gotta be kidding me, this is awesome. Never seen such great specials, so I was very pleased, really grateful. And thanks, Dan, for inviting me to share a thought or two this morning. I came away from this particular Synergy event excited about my business. I've been to lots of Synergy events, and I've enjoyed them. There have been some huge Synergy events that I've been to in the past in Las Vegas and other places, but none that have really resonated with me the way this one did. I'm not a big rah-rah guy. That's kind of not my, you know, I'm quieter than that. And that always sort of, I don't want to say it would irritate me, but I was never comfortable. That doesn't resonate with me. But in this particular Synergy event, it was personal. There was a different kind of a feeling here, and it was the kind of feeling that I liked. For example, we've got a picture here of Rudy and some of the staff from the Nature Sunshine from the Hughes Research and Innovation Lab. When Sarah got up to do her presentation, I took some notes, and you know, a lot of what Sarah had to share was way over my head. No, seriously, I mean, I'm just plain vanilla. You know, I'm not an exercise physiologist. I'm not a doctor, any of those kinds of things. But her explanation of things was, you know, she brought it down to a level where we could mostly understand all of us. The presentation was excellent. Her slide presentation was spot on. When comments were made, she would smile. She wasn't hyper at all. She would carefully answer all of the questions, smile on her face, a little, I don't know. I just thought she handled it perfectly. I've listened to Dr. Tripp many times. I love the guy. I think he's phenomenal. But her presentation was so much more personal. The smile on her face, the way she presented her material, the way she responded was, for me personally, it was perfect. And I could have listened to her all day. And again, here we have a picture of Rudy Pedrosa, and a lot of you on this particular webinar know Rudy. I've known Rudy for a very long time, and Rudy and Paul Blad teamed up together as network marketers a very long time ago. They've been very successful, especially in Europe. But Rudy has a way of explaining things like no one else. There's a connection that he has with both the corporate side of things and the distributor side of things. And Rudy and I have had some very long conversations on the phone when we've been, maybe a little sideways with corporate, you know, things that were a concern to us in the past. And we have a good relationship, a good friendship. But Rudy's presentation at Synergy at this event, for me was perfect. I walked away after listening to Rudy and his explanation of things and the way that he presented that information. On my way home from the event, I had a long drive, you guys. I had a 13-hour drive to get home. And I had driven about, I guess it was about 8 hours. I was thinking 9 hours, but I drove about 8 hours. I stopped in a little town. There's a couple there who I've known for years and years. I haven't seen him in over 15 years. But last year, this friend of mine in this little town had a heart attack. And I kept thinking about Rudy saying to us, you know, we should talk to one person every day. You know, and then he gave a really fun analogy. I stopped in this little town, Weiser, Idaho, called my friends, connected with them. And before I left that, we talked for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes or so, hugging each other and trying to catch up on our kids and all those kinds of things. But I looked at my friend, looked him right in the eye, and I said, Jay, you need to get some Proarginine. I said, you know, I've been taking this for 8 years now. You've got a heart problem. You need to try this. And I handed him a sample, handed him a brochure, gave him a big hug. He was looking at it. His wife said, Bob, I've been thinking about talking to you about this for a long time. And I said, here you go. Here's some information. I can send you more information. Away we went. And when I got home that day, that Sunday evening, I sent Rudy Pedrosa a little text message. Rudy, day one, done. And I have followed through with that now every day since we've had our event. I've contacted at least one person every day. Rudy's presentation, his spirit, his excitement, his connection was spot on. The point I want to make here, more than anything else, you guys, is that there is an incredible value in attending these events. I know there's an expense involved. I get that. And none of us are making enough money with Synergy Worldwide to really feel like we're flush and we can do whatever we want. We need to make more money. But we get that excitement and that, recommitment or re-energized when we do attend. And especially this particular event. This was the first Synergy event in their new building. It was a seminal moment. And so I'm thankful that I was able to be there and appreciated everybody there as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Bob. And I just want to do two things. One is on Sarah's presentation. Other people on the team for the Hughes Center for Research and Innovation talked about myeloperoxidase. We're going to most likely spend some time in a future Saturday presentation helping people understand myeloperoxidase and why that's important. But in the presentation at Synergy, during this Synergy presentation, they showed a slide for metabolic LDL that shows that the unique combination of those ingredients synergistically work together to have over a 300% effect on suppressing myeloperoxidase and what it does. Well, myeloperoxidase contributes to the oxidation of low-density lipoprotein. That is the major cause of plaque formation. And myeloperoxidase suppresses nitric oxide expression, so you can't get nitric oxide to do what it's supposed to do in your bloodstream. Well, metabolic LDL suppresses that effect by over 300% due to the unique combinations of the ingredients in metabolic LDL. Now, what I have found was also equally impressive is they showed a slide from their clinical study on Proarginine Plus. We know that we can say that Proarginine Plus is clinically proven to inhibit the expression of myeloperoxidase, but we never knew to what extent. They showed the slide. The unique combination of the ingredients in Proarginine Plus suppresses this enzyme, myeloperoxidase, by over 200%. So our product, Proarginine Plus, has a huge ability to inhibit vascular inflammation. In fact, in the slide presentations that I had for Synergy, they had to be vetted by Synergy's compliance department, and they vetted that line. Proarginine Plus is clinically proven to prevent vascular inflammation. That's a huge thing. The second thing is Rudy in his presentation talked about taking 1 stick of E9 and 1 stick of L-arginine or Proarginine Plus in the morning as his energy drink. And he asked if there were other people who did that. Well, there were a lot of people in that room. I personally do 1 stick and a scoop and a half of 1 stick of E9 and a scoop and a half of Coragen Plus first thing in the morning. That is my energy drink for the day. It sets my whole day up. Well, I approached Deb Durfee and I said to Deb, would you be interested in looking at product combinations that we could use on a monthly basis and not look at the CV in relationship to necessarily qualification, but rather looking at product combinations and what people would naturally use in a month's time to sign up for auto ship. And so I said, if you look at E9, which is $39, a box of Coragen Plus is $70, that's $109. The CV value for those two, when you add them together, is like 90 CV. What if we reduced the price down to 99 and made the CV value 60? And if a person then used that as their monthly auto ship, 60 CV times 6 months would create the 240 CV necessary for them maintaining their distributorship. But more importantly, they're on that month after month after month because it's part of their daily routine. Would you be willing to look at monthly product combinations, not in relationship to qualification for commissions, but rather looking at product combinations of what people would naturally use on a monthly basis? And she said yes. That to me was a huge breakthrough in corporate, because now they're willing to look for us as distributors at how we can come up with product options in combination that naturally address people's habits, so that every month they're using our Synergy products, and it makes perfect sense for them to be on monthly auto ship because they're on it for the products, not because they're looking at what they need to do from a qualification standpoint. But the nice thing is, when you do it this way, you can make the CV still work towards qualification. She was open and receptive to that, and I believe it's because Rudy's presentation brought out that combination and how that could be used to help you acquire customers. What you talked about, Bob, talk to one person every day about some Synergy product or product combination that would benefit them in their health and the habits that they have for their health. Does it make sense to you, Bob?
Yeah, it does. Sorry, I muted my phone. Sorry. But yes, of course it does. Yeah.
Dan,
Thanks, Bob.
I agree with you also, Dan.
Thanks, Timothy.
But can I make 2 comments?
Sure.
Dr. Pip was missed, but not missing. And Sarah is the second person from the left on your screen. The lady with the glasses, she's Sarah. And to all the Barbados connections, Rudy is a sponsor of the lady in Austin. The Barbados connection, Rudy is the sponsor of the lady in Austin. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Thank you, Timothy. So is there anyone on today's call that has any questions, or if you were at the event and you have anything that you would like to share? We're at the end of our time, so we have just a couple more minutes. So if you have questions, comments, or anything that you would like to share before we say goodbye today.
I don't have anything to add or to share. I have to jump off the webinar. I've got a service project I'm working on. I got to go help some people with. But thank you so much for putting this together, Dan. This is great information. We're really blessed, I think, as Synergy Distributors. This is a wonderful time with Synergy Worldwide. And I know when I got home, I got on the phone. I got a hold of Bobby Smith, the cards that Timothy was talking about a little while ago, the E9 and the Coragen Plus cards, are the perfect presentation that they've been looking for to set up a kiosk at a golf pro shop. I ran that by Bobby. He was very impressed. So these are the things that we've been looking for, hoping for, and I feel great about the future of Synergy, and I'm certainly thankful to be a part of it. So thanks, you guys, and I've got to run, but appreciate all of you. Thanks.
Take care. Thanks, Bob. Anyone else?
Hi, Dan. Hi, everyone. I want to ask you, you are talking about those presentation where, and is anyone taped or audio that presentation we can, because not everyone was there, and can we kind of see what is, I understood Bob talk a lot about those presentations. Do you have anywhere we can see those presentations?
Synergy, go ahead. Judy, you want to answer that?
Yes, so the entire program was Facebook Live. So you can go, you know, you go on my timeline and see it. But I am in the process of editing it down to presentation by presentation. So it will be available on YouTube when that is done. We will let you know so that, you know, everyone can be a part of the event.
And then Judy, once you have that completed, let me know, because I'll get the YouTube URLs, and then I'll put that into the resource page on our Synergy Family website. And that way we'll have a special category for this Experiencing Synergy event with those individually, those individual presentations, so that it's easy for people to pick a presentation and watch it rather than having to go through the whole thing.
Right, that's great. And I believe that Dan has a question. He has his hand raised.
Okay.
I just have a comment. Thank you so much for putting this on. Been with y'all for less than 2 weeks, and I really enjoyed this morning. Makes me want to go to one of the events. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, group.
Thanks, Dan. We're glad that you're part of our Synergy family.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome, Dan.
Any final comments or questions before we go?
It's Donald, just a comment, and my comment is to thank Judy for sharing some of the presentations live. I was able to see your presentation, Dan, and I also want to thank Judy for sharing the shakes. I too like the idea of the combination, the September, and I plan to get some of those products, because it's one of the products that I share with my family. My daughter specifically, she gets a shake every day when she drops off her son for me to keep. So that's the exchange we make. So I would be taking advantage of that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Donald. All right, any final things before we say goodbye?
Lawrence has his hand up, Dan.
Okay.
Let me unmute him. Okay, go ahead, Lawrence.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm the newest person that's joined the team. Thank you, Dan. I look forward to being a great distributor with training and support from you guys as well. I'm a little late to this meeting because we just went through Hurricane Florence, and we're doing relief for the community right now. And I just want to say that through everything I've been through, as far as looking for a great opportunity to get into, I think that Synergy has exactly what I've been asking for, what I've been looking for, as far as the products and what it can do to turn around my health issues and everything else. So I'm just being blessed to at least make this call, and I will be on time for the next call. And I'd just like to thank you guys for allowing me to be part of the team.
Well, welcome aboard, Lawrence. It's a privilege to be able to work with you. And our whole mission is blessing lives with better health as we build a vibrant network marketing business in Synergy worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being part of our team. All right. Anything else before we say goodbye?
This is Tracy. I just wanted to tell Timothy it was great to see him and the whole group. I look forward to seeing everybody there next time. And I do appreciate your support, Dan, with everything you're doing for us.
Thank you, Tracy. Well, it was good seeing you too. All right. Thank you. Well, with that, let's just say goodbye. We'll be back here same time next Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully, I won't have any technical issues on my side, but I appreciate, Judy, you allowing me to send you the presentation and then you pulling it up on your screen as you were host. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you, Dan. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye now.